Earlier this week, I was alerted to this story. This woman is a fitness influencer. She's pregnant and she broke up with her cheater of an ex-boyfriend. And not only did she break up with him, she put him on blast publicly. So this is the caption to her post saying, and sometimes you just get cheated on while pregnant. Never in 1,000,000 years would I think I would be making a post like this, but this has been my new reality. I just recently found out that the father of my child has been cheating on me with multiple women unprotected, putting myself and my baby at risk. I have 1 month left of my pregnancy, 2 incidents in the last 5 days, over 25 women, over 25 women. This is another level of strength and adversity that I have been faced with. I'm making this post for all my women out there who can do every single thing right with their partner and for their baby's best interest and still get an unfair hand. There were 0 signs, and I didn't know he was living a double life. While it would be so easy to break down right now, my baby needs me more than ever, and I'm actually grateful that this information was presented to me so that I can learn from this. Keep me in your prayers, keep my baby in your prayers, and I hope that all women out there love themselves enough to walk away and cut off things that do not honor the vision they have for themselves. Regardless of how difficult the scenario may be, God will make a way. He always does. He always will. So that is the post right there, the caption. So here he is responding to her Instagram story saying, yo, I know you hurt, but trying to air me out to Instagram is so immature. He said, I know you hurt. He didn't take any responsibility for the fact that she is hurt because of him and his actions. So absolutely no responsibility, no accountability in that line at all. She says, this is the apology I have received. She posted this herself and added that caption. She says, imagine lying to my face, not apologizing at all, and then having the audacity to call me names. Yes, that right there is some sheer audacity. Here is that caption. She says, slide 1. This is what the lack of accountability and an apology looks like. Literally sickening. The audacity to insult someone when you've been doing things in the dark is crazy. No honesty, no transparency, no remorse, just playing victim and deflecting accountability. Rest of the slides. The things being done in the dark very carelessly and unsafe, story after story after story, while also being intimate with me. So grateful the mask is off and true colors have been revealed. Thank you everyone for the support during such a vulnerable time in my life. You only get one first pregnancy, so I plan on cherishing these last few days as best as possible. Today makes 30 days until my due date, but I actually have to be induced on July 23rd due to just finding out that I have clotasis or cloestasis. I'm not sure what that is. I'm sorry. I will be doing everything in my power to make sure baby boy is cared for and safe. 2 weeks to go. She is dealing with a lot while being pregnant. A lot of stress is coming on her. So this has to be mentally and physically taxing. But I mean, she is getting support from her online community. This is the first girl that jumped into her DMs. This woman says, we met at Stats May 17th. He had a friend with him, but I forgot his name. That's the night his window on his car got broken. Later, he invited me to his Airbnb and we had sex that night. It was unprotected and I got a test a few weeks later and everything came back negative. Thank God, because I had no idea he was sleeping with so many people. He told me he was single that night and was flirting with other people as well. I know he's been trying to come up to see me a few times. Again, I'm so sorry. It actually makes me sick knowing that a man can do that to the mother of his child. And you are gorgeous at that. This is girl number 2. Sadia asked how many times they had sex. And the girl 2 says, I met him on a Saturday at a house party with the same homeboy she talking about. And she says twice. She posted some clips from voice notes, so I did screen record that to play that next.
I did not know anything about him having a girlfriend, let alone an impregnant.
And he was telling me that he already had a son, that he was single. He was telling me that he already had a son, that he was single. He and
everything, we'd been drinking a lot. And I told him to use a condom, and he was like kind of like fighting me on it. Like, I remember him like saying he didn't really want to use it and like kind of going back and forth with me, and I was just like, well, we're not doing anything if you don't use a condom. But I do have a feeling, and I can't prove this, but I do have a feeling that he took it off at the very end. And everything, we'd been drinking a lot. And I
So I left it at that because I was already getting those signs. But truly, I apologize from my end just because I didn't do my due diligence and ask those questions.
Yeah. It's okay. I mean, I appreciate you even apologizing, but clearly your intuition was telling you something, you know?
Yeah, it definitely was.
Yeah. And so, where did y'all have sex?
In the car.
You did it in the car?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this was like after the party. Like, what date was this?
This was just last week on Thursday.
You're lying. Oh my God.
So I left it at that.
Here's her next post after airing out those DMs. She's showing off her baby bump, and she's giving a rundown about what's going on. She says, whew, what a week. Registry link in my bio. She says, it's been 72 hours since everything came to light, and not once have I received an apology or even a simple I'm sorry, just silence, deflection, and a complete lack of remorse. But I'm not waiting on an apology because God is already working things out for me and this baby, and I'm genuinely excited about what's to come for us. I give birth in 12 days on July 23rd, and yesterday the doctors told me I'm being induced. I cried. I'm nervous, but I'm also filled with so much hope and love. I opened up some of the registry gifts and just felt overwhelmed in the best way possible. We're preparing, we're protected, and baby boy is going to have everything he needs. This is the thing. Women come in and come together and provide. The man in her life was absolutely not a provider or protector. The way he came in and was sleeping with all of these people put her life in jeopardy and the baby's life in jeopardy. She told the community, and the community did a virtual hug around her and supported her and is doing all of the things that she would need. Women are the providers. She says, let's clear a few things up while we're here. Number one, no, I will never get back with him. A blind man can see I'm out of his league. She says, two, don't be confused. The photos of him are still up because I'm not protecting anyone who jeopardized my baby's health. Bam. We bring shame back over here. Please tell him. Highlight those pictures. Share the pictures of that man so people can see who he is. 3, and no, I'm not heartbroken over someone who is clearly struggling with his own demons. I'm more tired than anything, and currently living in Charlotte, North Carolina, all by myself, where I don't know anyone. So yes, I feel a little alone, but this is temporary. My focus right now is a safe and healthy delivery. That's it. 4, to the people defending his behavior, projecting your own low standards onto me, we are not the same. Some of us love ourselves too much to tolerate betrayal disguised as love. 5, he deactivated his page because accountability is foreign to him. A compulsive liar with no sense of right or wrong lied to my face without flinching while knowing exactly what he's done behind my back. But what's done in the dark always finds its way to light. And she says, to everyone supporting me, thank you. If you'd like to bless Baby Win and I, the link is in my bio. And it sounds like she's gotten almost everything that she needs from her registry. So the community, her fitness community, her Instagram community, they're coming together, and this woman is being supported. She said that she's alone in North Carolina, so this probably feels like the best she's going to do with a virtual community, and I'm sure that is helpful. That was 2 days ago. A woman asked the question, what has his family said about his behavior? Hopefully they aren't condoning and are supporting you and the baby during this time. This is one of the family members saying, if he has a STD, he would know it's Sadia. He would have symptoms. Is that an excuse? Is that a rationalization? What is that? And the next person says, Sadia, I haven't even looked at this or read anything you have said, but to publicly humiliate yourself by putting your own business out is crazy. You're better than this. And Sadia says, it's my truth. People really want to protect these dudes. Why is that? This is the life that they led, so air it out. I like it. She says she's bringing shame back. This is the caption. She says, great question. The responses, yeah, they're from the women in his family. His, yo, I know you hurt message starting to make more sense now, right? Humiliation. Meanwhile, the support has been so abundant. Thank you, God, for using my truth to launch me into a community that's been so ready and willing to show up for me. Also, let me say this. In no way, shape, or form should any woman justify or defend behavior when it comes to infidelity, STDs, or an unborn child, especially if you're a mother. Some things you just don't play with. Hold the men in your life accountable without trying to save them. And please, let people do what they want. We are not the same, and we don't have the same life experience. Stop projecting what you think people should do. I am me, you are you. She says, she's thanking the community for being there for her, and that is amazing. I am glad that they are there. But she's right. Some people want to keep silent about everything. Keep all that in the closet. Keep it behind doors. Absolutely not. Shame these people, because that's the reason why they keep having the opportunity to go around being community peen and being destructive. Let me know what y'all think. There's another update to the dry sandwich story. The story that started out with a sandwich let me know that I'm probably going to get a divorce. So yesterday she made another post in the marriage subreddit. She says she's trying to save my marriage. And this story was so funny to me. I'm not going to do it all. She says, I posted here about a situation with my marriage and got some really interesting perspectives. I was frustrated about a sandwich my husband made me. I took a step back and I did some reflection. She did some reflection on the responses that she got on that post. And in that reflection, I realized that my expectations are too high and I should be less demanding of my husband. My husband and I have standards of care that we give and require. Mine seem to be higher than his. I've pondered on which approach would be the path of least resistance, because I'd really like to try and fix things. So the other night I sat my husband down and explained to him that I think it would be better for us as a couple to meet each other with the same level of care. This way, no one feels resentment. I think it's also important that we establish a baseline of care and a solid picture of what we can expect from one another should either one of us fall ill or become infirm. As long as I know what to expect and can plan accordingly, I won't be so terrified to grow old with him. I explained that I accept him as he is because no one is perfect, and that it would be much easier for me to lower my standard of care to match his instead of asking him to raise his. I thought he would feel relieved without all the pressure of having to meet my expectations. Instead, he got angry. I was so gentle, kind, and appreciative of the fact that he's trying his best. I don't understand why he's not okay with me treating him the way he treats me. I laughed. Y'all saw yesterday when I was doing that. I was literally cracking up as I read this because I was like, this woman is not serious. So I said that on the post. I made this comment yesterday saying, okay, I am cackling at this story to the point I couldn't tell if you were serious or not. The people on the other post beat you down so much that you decided your standards were too low. No, I meant to say too high. That your standards were too high and said F standards altogether. You gonna get what you get and we gonna both be okay with this. I said, I'm gonna be honest. I think you would be happier single and pouring into yourself than having this F it attitude, because you don't truly turn off F's that easily. And then I said, good luck, hun. I didn't realize that she had responded to me until someone on my YouTube page said that she responded to me. So I went over there. She says, I saw your YouTube channel. Great breakdown of my post. It's crazy how he got angry when I said I was going to treat him how he treats me. I think I saw fear in his eyes. So this morning, Scared Assistant says, I would divorce him if his first reaction to a discussion was to get angry. It's not someone who you can communicate with. And to that, she says, divorcing over someone getting angry is a bit of an overreaction, don't you think? Anger is a normal response to things we don't like. It's curious to me, though, why he got angry because I was telling him I'm going to treat him as he treats me. What about that made him angry? I thought I found a very fair solution to the issues we've been having. Please keep in mind that this woman is making these comments on purpose, because on the other post, people were just coming at her. And now she's like, but what did I do? Why is he mad? And I know that she's being sarcastic. And the reason why I know she's being sarcastic is because she jumped into my inbox. So here she is. This is what she said to me yesterday. She says, okay, my post today in the marriage sub was complete sarcasm. The story is completely true, but I took all the comments that were thrown at me and posted a response to see how much chirping those men would do. I noticed it's an eerily quiet day today. I was laughing so hard at your update because I was hoping someone would realize this is so absurd. I asked her the question, how did she get to the YouTube link? And she says, someone posted that they saw my post on your channel. So I took a look. I love what you're doing. Reddit can be a black hole of nothingness sometimes. You're adding a level of context where it's missing and providing a safer space for conversation. There are a lot of angry people, men out there who can't handle a mirror being held up to them. So this woman understands what I am doing with my page, and she is appreciative of that. I asked her if she does still plan to divorce that man. She says, yes. I started seeing a discernment counselor because I wasn't sure if I was overreacting to the seemingly little things that have been piling up. I was also concerned that I may be falling back into previous negative patterns of my own avoidance. He assured me that what I am feeling is valid and warranted under the circumstances. I have to stay for now as I deal with another issue. She talks about a personal issue right there. I blanked it out. She says, but once things have settled down on that end, I'm out. I'm not in a rush because I have no desire to be in another relationship, and there's no physical abuse happening, so I'm not in any danger. So we've gone from a dry sandwich to a soon-to-be blindsided husband, and he is going to be blindsided because she has already checked out of the relationship. This just goes to show how women will check out of a relationship. She has broken up with him in her mind. Now she is just biding her time until this other situation is worked through, and now she's going to be out. And then when the husband finally gets blindsided, then he's going to be wondering what happened when this is literally what happens. She is now apathetic to her husband because she could see the apathy in him. Whew. This is happening. This is literally playing out in 4K for us. So let me know what you think about this. I'm glad that she jumped into my comments to let me know that yes, she is going to divorce this man. And y'all, we are out here really highlighting things for all of us. You don't have to stay in a sucky situation. And sometimes, yes, you do have to create a plan and execute. Let me know what you think. Like, comment, and share. Many of the things that I talk about, they're all starting to coalesce where it comes to relationships, because relationships should be mutually beneficial. If you're in a relationship, I suppose you think that you're going to get love, support, care, and it's going to go back and forth. You be a shoulder, they be a shoulder for you, right? And so earlier this week, I was talking about an article where women are saying that they are checking out, that they are they don't want to date anymore because they are shouldering the majority of the emotional labor. Now, we already know that women do the majority of the labor in the home. They do the majority of the labor with the children or whatnot. But these women were specifically talking about shouldering the emotional load and there being a lack of reciprocity. Well, now I want to talk about this dating experience with this woman named the Sierra Experience. She posted this in the Dating Threads subreddit. She says, so I'm currently dating one man only. Recently, I went through a traumatic incident. So today we link, and I've expressed that at this time, I only wanted comfort and to be held. So she was specific. I want comfort and to be held. I told him I've been asleep all day and that I'm hungry. That's also number 2. I'm hungry. Why did this man look at me and ask, so what you about to cook? I ignored it. He asked again, so when are you getting up to cook? Like, hello, that's the least you could do is feed my body and soul. Keep in mind, like literally, she just said, I went through something traumatic. I'm sleepy and I'm hungry and I want comfort. Like, I know that men and even some women say, why don't you say things specifically? What in that does not say what she specifically needs? She's hungry. Get her some food. I need comfort. Hug her. But then at the bottom, she says, now trust me, I'm a chef in the kitchen, but my soul is tired. So I've expressed how drained I've been the past couple of days. And the least you could have done is bought a snack and some flowers. But nope, just a hard peen and audacity. So literally, she's going through something and all he can think about is how he is going to use her body as a masturbatory tool. That's literally it. F the fact that she needs some comfort because of something traumatic that happened. Y'all, this comment right here from her goes exactly with that article that I was just talking about. She says, I've mentally established that this is the last man I'm dating, and I want to focus on myself. And today will be the day I cut off that situation because I need a man of action, not words. The article that I was talking about from a couple of days ago, Mankeeping is why women are done with dating. Mankeeping describes the emotional labor women end up doing in heterosexual relationships. It goes beyond remembering birthdays or coordinating social plans. It means being your partner's one-man support system, managing his stress, interpreting his moods, holding his hand through feelings he won't share with anyone else. All of it unpaid, unacknowledged, and often unreciprocated. I wanted to get to the part where it says unreciprocated because women are feeling like, I am there for you when you need me. I need you to show up for me when I need you. And that woman literally said, because of this, I am no longer dating men. This is going to be the last man I'm dating. These situations keep cropping up. Women are literally done. I've mentally established that this is the last man I'm dating. These dudes are the reason why women are opting out. Some people think it's the feminists and it's social media. It's always something else. But these women are literally living their experiences. And this is the reason why they are saying, nope, not anymore. Because they are tired of giving, and no one being there to fill them up when they're in need. Noetic Muse says, no matter what happens after ending that, I hope your life is filled with love and community care. And then here's the Sierra experience again saying, update, I ended it. I didn't block him so he can say his part if he chooses to. And I feel like I was a little mouthy, but I want people to know exactly where they had me effed up and not question. And then she gives a screenshot. So here's the text message she sent the man saying, hi, I wanted to talk to you about last night. So honestly, I think we should end things here. You obviously don't respect me or my decisions. What I went through was traumatic AF. And I just feel the compassion from you in person wasn't there. You asking me what I'm going to cook instead of coming up with a different solution or bringing me food after what happened is crazy. We have different expectations on what we look for in a partner. Clearly and obviously, you can see that with the lifestyle I live. I value thoughtfulness, which is not what you've displayed outside of our first date. I do wish you the best. Have the life you deserve. So I think that she was quite clear with her expectations because even upon reading that very first post that she made, I as a human could see what would need to happen. Why is it that these men who have been intimate, I don't know if they were intimate like that, but they've been on dates. You don't know how to handle a situation where a woman has been through something trauma. She says, I am weary. And she says, I'm hungry. Like, none of these are clues. Do you really need a color by number book with relationship guidance? If someone says, my soul is weary and I am hungry, like, what do you think that means? This is like, if they can't pick up any kind of context clues without like someone literally spelling things out with a PowerPoint display, I do not believe that they are ready for a relationship. Behold, a man has arrived to share his manly view. Mr. Petty is back, says, you shouldn't be dating at all, even though she says that this is going to be the last man I date. He lets her know, he reiterates that to her. You shouldn't be dating at all. Deal with your trauma first before engaging with men you aren't ready for. There isn't any such thing as bare minimum in a relationship that you accept. And she says, my trauma is me going to a strip club with my friend from out of town, and a random man choked me because I conversed with another man while ordering food. Not from relationships, but thanks for commenting. So some man tried to choke her because she was engaging, she's just having a conversation. So she's not dealing with trauma from a relationship like many of these men. They come into our comments and they just assume that they know what women have been through. But this man was absolutely wrong. The reason why they can be so loud and wrong is because they don't ask probing questions and they just assume that they know the situation. So Mr. Petty, he kind of backtracks a little bit. He says, I'm sorry you had that experience. That sucks, and referencing that trauma when someone wants to touch you has to be mentally exhausting. I get it. But now he does a but. At the end of the day, that man isn't responsible for fixing them, especially if he's not your husband. And just because he's not emotionally intelligent enough to understand that doesn't mean he's not a real man. Maybe his trauma is reflective in his lack of action. So people do expect girlfriends, regular platonic friends, even work relationships. They expect women to carry the emotional load for men. But here this man is saying he don't have to do for you because that's not your husband. SLSS says it's not his responsibility. Our trauma is our own responsibility, but some support and love is much appreciated. No one asked him to run a marathon. She asked for love and support in a time of need and healing. Are you saying you should only give that if you're married? So we don't get an answer to that question. But this person, Moa, says, I dated this guy, super sweet and nice, but he was very messy. It was definitely a deal breaker for me. He keeps trying to get back together, and I finally told him that this bothered me. Was not a bit. Was like a hurricane passed in this man's house and car. So he tells me, I was hoping I could find a woman that likes to have fun cleaning and organizing. Oh my God, the audacity. So they have an expectation of you doing unpaid labor for them. They have an expectation of you doing emotional labor for them. But when it comes to a woman doing stuff, you only get that type of thing if you're married. And the Sierra Experience says, ma'am, what in the entire F, the audacity? And I'm sure there are plenty of women that do like that. However, they are also monetarily compensated for that as well. Shaking my head. Okay, to wrap up her story, she says, my best friend bought me flowers. Thank you, baby. This definitely cheered me up. So looks like a woman coming through. And then she says, I really do appreciate everybody that had advice and well-received guidance on my previous post. All I ask for is compassion and genuine concern, and it's wild how many strangers gave that to me. I love y'all. Because yes, you know, people can offer that. It really isn't that hard. But if you have the expectation all a woman is there for you is to be a cum receptacle, then no, you can't give you can't give compassion and concern. All right, y'all, this is how we're wrapping it. Let me know what you think. Like, comment, and share.
I don't know who needs to hear this, but when somebody say they don't like me, it's like, ouch, bitch, you hit me right where I don't give a fuck.